Vuminji, 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 Sayes, 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 Sayes. Hiya everyone, welcome to another Oy'Nissh vlog, and today I am in Seton Sand. I'm heading down to Port Seton near to Long Nidre, which is down that main road, where I'll be foraging for wild garlic. It's quite busy. I'm just passing by the holiday homes for sale. I think this area, what's the name of this area again? I don't remember. Yeah, well, it's a caravan park over that side, and as you can see, there are many people up for holiday. People from across the UK always come down this side for holidays, and also Scotland, so it's a big place. We've got the swimming pool over there and other amenities and so forth, and the beach. Going further in the distance is Long Nidre beach, but this is all Seton Sands area, and I'm heading down towards the Port Seton part to forage. I've been here before, so I came here during February when the wild garlic and ground elder, but also I think I saw nettle. Yes, these three plants were a lot smaller. So today, as promised, that I am going to revisit that area now to see how far they've reached. As you can tell, I've been doing foraging vlogs throughout mid-Lothian and also parts of East Lothian, and also Edinburgh, like the Little France Park just across from the Edinburgh Castle. So it's now April, and I'm expecting that there will be wild garlic or Vuminji available to forage. So I'll take you a bit along the sea coast so you can get an idea. So let me see. So we've got, this is just a wheelchair path. Yes, so it's a nice day. The weather is great, and the beach. So as you can see, there are many people making use of the Easter holiday with all the kids out from school. They're all over enjoying the day, and because this is a caravan area too, many of the people are out enjoying a bit of their holiday and so forth. But I'm here on business to forage for wild garlic, probably a little bit of nettle too, and ground elder. When I came here during February, I didn't see any wild leek, but I'm sure it's somewhere around. I just haven't found any, but my focus is on the wild garlic and ground elder and some nettle. And I'm taking this route because the last time I came down here, I told you one method of trying to identify where you can find wild garlic, and mostly wild leek too. I think these two, it's applicable to wild leek too, that wherever you find woodland and water, like these streams, deans and so forth, chances are that you'll find wild garlic. Sorry. So when I came down here the last time, I took you to an area where there was the Seton Dean ran into the sea. So I'm retracing my step now, and we're going to walk adjacent the Seton Dean right up to where the wild garlic is, or Vuminji in Oy'Nissh. So how far do I have to go I think the last time I came I was a bit further down, so let me just trace my steps. So yes, and I'm hoping to do a third series, and when I mean a third series, I need to revisit all the areas that I visited since February, because then I start to look and see at what time these fresh produce or seasonal vegetables start to go out of season, and there are indication that wild leek or plemungi is going out of season already in some areas. It's strange because they come up quite earlier than wild garlic and so forth, but many places ago they're already flowering, and after that the only process after that is they die off. So they'll start to get yellow. That nice green will start to turn yellow. This will be the same with the wild garlic. So I'm sure sooner or later we'll be out of leek, but I've been making use of the opportunity to eat as much as I can, so I cannot complain. So remember, the last time I came here, this was the water path that I said I need to follow to see if it can lead me to the wild garlic or vominji. In Britain they also call it Ramson. So this is the end part of the Seton Dean, and I don't know where it's coming from. I'm sure it's coming further up East Lothian, going that up the hill, so forth, but it goes all the way around. And I did mention that chances are when you've got heavy rain, this would be a very nice place to cross over. So it would mean that I would have been doing so by the main road, but I just came here to show you where the Dean leads to, from here into the sea, going that way. And also, if you remember when I came here the last time, remember I told you that when you get enough water, chances are you won't be able to walk across to that part, because when I came here the last time I was able to walk across to that part quite easily. But now, as I can see, of course it's possible in a nice woolly boot, but I don't have one now, so I have to look for another part to cross over, and then I rejoin the main road. So probably here, let me see, maybe I can jump across, or maybe a little bit down there. Let me see. No, that bit here, this bit isn't ideal, so I just go a little down. No, you can tell how wide the Dean does get when you have heavy rain. As you can see, all this bit have been cut out, the bank. No, it's easier this way. It starts to narrow just here, so it means that I'll be able to cross over. But obviously, if it rains a lot, I wouldn't be walking from the beach, I'd be going from the main road. But I only came here to remind you how I was able to identify where the wild garlic was by following the water trail. So I'm back on the other side, heading towards the main road. So I will now start to walk towards the woodland where I can find the wild garlic. So this is, I don't know, I think this is the fourth area that I've been visiting. This was the last place I came during February, because I did a part of Edinburgh, that's the Craig Miller Castle area where you have Little France Park. I did Musselburgh. I also did Dalkeith. I did the Tranent area going up to New Winton, the Winton Estate Castle region. I think there are about 5 areas I did, but this was the last place I came. So this is my second visit in the Port Seton area. Sometimes I wonder if I should call it Port Seton or Seton Sands. The sign says Port Seton, but where the bus stop was, it says Seton Sands. So now I've crossed over. Remember this path? Yep. So we are now going up because I'm confident, having located where the wild garlic was the last time, that they'll be a lot larger now. And I am predicting that the first true area that I visited on in the last vlog, the pre-spring foraging vlog in this area, where I walk over the Dean to the other side where the wild garlic plants were, that they were already of reasonable size, still small, but I was predicting that by end of March going into April there'll be possibility for foraging for some. So I'm looking for that. I'm hoping to identify that potential in this area. And just look, it's strange because when I came here in February, I didn't really look on this side, yeah, because there is wild garlic. It's the golf course. I don't know the name of this golf course. As you can see, let me give you a view. As you can see, it's a golf course, so they must have started from here and head down that way, yes? But I didn't see the wild garlic. See, look. I didn't even imagine that there would have been wild garlic just across the wall, because I missed it all together because it was quite small, you see, the plant. So maybe that's why I wasn't unable to see. As you can tell, just there by the golf course, on the other side of the wall. And look, along the path, we've got wild garlic. See it? This would be my best place for foraging because it's near the path. And I did mention the last time, if you're near the footpath, it's not the best place for foraging. So look, the wild garlic just sprung up everywhere. It's all there. And I didn't see this bit the last time. Look, I didn't see this bit. Nice broad leaves. Wow, this is a surprise. Yes, because as I said, I missed it all together the last time. Look at all that wild garlic. I missed all this. I should have considered that there would have been wild garlic. And there's the wild leek. Not wild leek, ground elder and nettle. But they're by the path, so I'm going further up. So already I know that I was correct by predicting that at this time there would be some foraging potential in this area, because you'll have some that are ready to be harvested and some that are still yet to grow larger. And we are adjacent the Dean. The path is adjacent the Dean. Yes, so look, across, just a small walk across, more wild garlic and loads of ground elder. They're just springing up all over the place, and nettle too. So it's productive and it's sunny today. I think the last time I came it was gray, but today is a nice day for foraging along the Dean, the Seton Dean, that is, in East Lothian, along the Port Seton sea coast, heading on to Longnidry. Someone told me about Longnidry, but I went there the last time and I just couldn't find where the wild garlic was, and it was already getting late. It was already getting dark, so I abandoned that trail. If I get enough time, I'll nip down to Longnidry and see what's there. Now, here we are. Welcome to Seton Dean, yes? So woodland trust Scotland, and look, a mixture of this is ground elder. Here we've got our wild garlic, and I'm sure nettle is somewhere. Nettle is somewhere in the mix. But as you can see, just near the path, all these, I would, well, maybe we use the term wild vegetables because it's not something you get in the supermarket. But I can guarantee you that if with all the cost of living, expense and all that, and in the future if supermarkets start to sell wild garlic, it won't be called wild vegetables, it will just be the norm. Seems like every time supermarkets sell stuff, it becomes the norm. But for now, I guess wild vegetables. So I'm heading now up the path, and as you can see on either side now, the wild garlic or vuminji is well pronounced. This is good because it means that it's working like clockwork. Within this season it has been prescribed, you know. And one good way of identifying the health of the garlic, wild garlic, is how broad the leaves are. Sometimes they get very tall too, but how broad they are, but how many I would say stalks of it you get bunched together. Individual stalks of the individual stalk bunching up together, which I would imagine result from individual bulbs underneath the soil. So I guess over time in one area alone you can get loads of the flowering plant reproducing to create more wild garlic, and after a while a cluster of these bulbs now give rise to a nice big bunch, which I hope I'll be able to show you. Now I'm trying to remember where I crossed over the last time. The first time I crossed over on the other side of the Dean, I must have passed it because I want to revisit that place where I showed you in the last video when the plants were a lot smaller, and it's just to see how they've progressed up to this point. No, I'm just, no, it's not down here. I think I need to go further up the path. So yes, it's amazing. All the wild garlic. Look at this. Remember when I passed here, I could hardly see anything. I had to just put this thing down. That's not wild leek, that's a flowering plant, something else altogether. I don't think it was down here. I'm trying to, is it? Let me check, because I might not reach there as yet. Yeah, let's see. But as you can tell on the other side, you can start to see loads of wild garlic and ground elder, and the ground elder plants are larger than when I first came here during February this year. But I just can't, I must have passed it. There were two crossovers that I did, but I must have missed it the first one, I think. Oh no, here it is. Okay, yes. So the first time I came here, I crossed over on this path when I showed you some of the plants that were larger than others, but at that time they were spaced to walk because it's not so much that they were sparsely populated, it's just because they were smaller. But as you can see now, while at that time I was able to walk my way through up to that end, it's all covered now, just I have mentioned before. And here's a butterfly to confirm. Look at that. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, it's gone. I should have taken a picture instead of vlogging, but it's gone. No, look, it's all covered right along. At least the the water is low, so I can at least go a little up this way. But if I go over there now, I'll be stepping on the garlic naturally, because it's occupied the entire area now. Look how nice, look how big this one is. No, they're still to grow larger than this, I believe, some of them. But I'm wondering if here are the flowers. So here's a sign that chances are, see the flower? Soon it will be open. So this have reached, it's coming to maturity already for some of them. So this one, maybe, my guess is that in this area they won't grow as tall. You remember in Musselburgh I showed you some that were quite tall? Maybe in this area some of them won't grow as tall. Also in the Winton Castle area, estate area, they were a lot taller than these. Well, some of them, but these ones are already flowering. They're still okay. Look at this nice bunch, so you can tell that it's healthy with loads of bulbs below that stays there. If we forage, we cut the tops off and leave the bulbs below, so we can get more wild garlic next year. But look, it's all covering this region. Isn't that great? So as predicted, the potential for foraging is here already. Not all of this you'd forage at one point. You probably have to work your way through and look for those ones that are nearing flowering and so forth. But it's absolutely amazing, because now you can see the result of the seasonal impact on plants and how the celestial bodies have been governing seasons and bringing them into their reality at its time. For Christians, it would be the idea that God created the world and on the fourth day put celestial bodies in the sky, the moon and star, to govern times and seasons and so forth. For atheists, you might have different perspective as to beliefs, but the idea is both will conclude that the seasons come into play when they ought to. The plants rather come into play in their season, which is amazing, because it means now when foraging for stuff and having it during its season, and once it's finished, you can't wait for the next season to come to enjoy it. My guess is, if you're able to have everything at your fingertip, sometimes you take it for granted. Could it be one of the reasons why we've got high food wastage across the entire globe? Well, at least in the developed countries and even some developing countries, where food is going to waste because everything is just so available, especially by importing stuff that are not native to the country. No, I'm not against importing stuff, but I'm saying, if we've got all this wild garlic and possibly the potential to do wild garlic farming to even make it more productive, so that, because I don't think all the wild garlic in the foraging region is possible, is enough to feed a population of 60 million. I don't think so. But if it is cultivated properly, just imagine how larger they could get, and so forth. So it could be farmed. But apparently I think that maybe in the UK they get it wrong, wherein they depend a lot on spinach, separate garlic, as opposed to just having one plant that could function as both, because it's wild garlic, have that nice leafy taste like you're eating spinach, but it also have the taste of garlic, but it also have its own unique taste, which gives the three advantages. and it's there. You don't have to pay for it. So consider that we're living in a time of greater challenges, you know. I'm sure there's food poverty all over the world at the moment, and I'm sure here in the UK too, right? And you'll be considering going to the supermarket to get at least some of your five a day. So spinach, a bit of garlic. No, wild garlic is in season. You get both in one go, and it depends on where you are. I guess if you're in the city of the middle of London, unless you've got your own gardening patch, it won't work. But I'm talking about for people living in Scotland, even in Glasgow, just as you go on the outskirts there, Edinburgh, you find wild garlic. It's so easy. And I'm sure that's true in other parts of England, Wales and Ireland and Northern Ireland. And look, all that. And it's not imported stuff. It's just there, waiting to be used. Obviously correctly. But it can be eaten raw. Just wash it thoroughly, dry it off, chop it, shred it finely, mix it in with your tuna mayonnaise, instead of maybe using onion, because you know some of you use onion in your tuna mayonnaise. You can use the wild garlic to get that nice leafy taste, garlicky taste, but the onion family taste. Yeah, that's just one trick. Now, you remember I mentioned about this spot, that if it does get, if it does rain a lot, crossing here is not going to be, well, it's not impossible, but it's not encouraged. It's to go swim with the fish down the sea coast, I guess. But over there, they were very tiny, and look at it now. It's so lush. Look. It's just all so lush. It's amazing how few weeks, a month have made a difference. That chances are you can forage for some now and then come back later in the month and next month and you still get some. And I'm sure dotted amidst this you can get you can get ground elder. As mentioned, as shown in the last video, ground elder was already popping up amidst all the wild garlic, our vuminji, and now you can see they also are a bit larger too. The ground elder are size. See the size? Look, they're a lot larger now. These are the newer leaves of the ground elder size, and look how broad these leaves are now, the wild garlic. Isn't that amazing? And I came up here too, where you can find more ground elder, but absolutely loads of sias plants are ground elder. Look how much ground elder plants. They're just flourishing. All the water, all that water from the rainfall, but also chances are those closer to the bank, the Dean Bank, probably get extra water and nutrients as you get a gush of water passing by, sweeping over this region. I guess it would leave sediments and nutrients and all that stuff to enrich the soil and just make it so productive. Maybe that's why, as mentioned, I believe that wild garlic does well in woodland, but also near water. Thus I give the term, I call it water garlic. I know water garlic is used in the natural context of adding just the clove of garlic to water, but in this case I liken Ramson or wild garlic, or in Oy'Nissh vuminji, to the term water garlic, simply because it just loves water, like leek. I think wild leek, it's at home near the water. Look at that, it's at home. It's all at home. Oh, there are some bigger ones down there. That if I can reach there without stepping on all the vominji plant. Squirrel. Grey squirrel. Maybe I'll have to step down a bit. Oh, the rocks aren't all shaky. I've me tumbling over. So I'm fortunate I can walk along the bed of the Dean at the moment, but it won't be possible at all times. So I'm fortunate today. Look, amazing, isn't it? Nice and healthy, and I can cross over, you know, I think. Yep. And all this. Just look at this, people. Just look at this. It's amazing, isn't it? Just absolutely amazing. So it works. The season and seasonality in the UK works. It just depends on what people fancy, because people will probably have spinach more than they do wild garlic. But just imagine if some people and students at the universities in the UK, wherever you are, if you are close to wild garlic, just imagine if you go forage for some. I know in Musselburgh some people go foraging. No, I don't know if students go foraging, but they go to Tesco, the big Tesco in Musselburgh. Just imagine if you stop by along the river Esk first, where there are loads of wild garlic at the moment, and wild leek, which will be out of season soon because they're all flowering at the moment, all at once. And you get some of the wild garlic. That's a spinach and garlic covered. You don't have to buy that at the big Tesco. And it's just quite straightforward, you know. But as I said, it's all about taste, you know. And it's easy to prepare. You prepare the wild garlic like how you do spinach. If you want to add it to your soup, stir fry, eat it raw. I love to eat it raw. All I do is wash it thoroughly, put it between napkins and dry it, and chop it up, shred it fine. Even the stem part also, this bit is also, I love this bit because it gives a nice crunch when you're eating the tuna mayonnaise or egg mayonnaise, or if it's vegan, a vegan mayo. Yeah, I use it to make the mativna. Remember, if you go on my YouTube channel, you see how I make the mativna, which is a soup with a selection of sandwich, a vegan, a vegetarian, and a tuna mayonnaise sandwich. Yeah, and I chop the wild garlic through, and it's healthy. You're eating it raw. You get your 5 a day. All you have to do is to go forage for it. Here's a nice big bunch. Nice. It's not that big, but you know. So give me a second. Let me just. So the good thing is seasonality works for wild garlic. It's on time this year. I don't know about previous year and what will happen next year, but this year it's on time. It's spot on. We haven't had late winter where in some time past would probably have snow covering the place still. Who knows? And that would have delayed the growth. But we're fortunate to have the wild garlic or vominji or ramsons ready in some parts to be foraged. So my best bet now is I need to put the head pro on, get my scissors and my bag, and start forage for some, because it means now that I can probably get some ground elder afterwards. Nettle, I'm sure there are nettle around, but there are not large clusters of it, so I might not forage for nettle. But definitely Vumingia, wild garlic, but also ground elder or sayes. So I'm here already, so let me just get some here. Hold a second. Okay, so I've got my bag. As you can see, it's a tiny bag. It's not even a basket, it's a tiny bag. I don't tend to take loads of wild garlic because I go to different places to forage. I might be lucky if the weather holds up and I've got enough time, I could pop down by Long Nidri again and see if I can locate the wild garlic, yeah? So I wouldn't want to take much anyways, because if I do go there, I'd like to forage for some. So now it's about choosing my wild garlic. There we go. Let's push. You know what's nice too? It's been spoiled for choices, you know? You're spoiled for choices when you forage at this stage, because this is peak time for foraging. April is best for foraging. April going the first week in May. After that, they start to die off. So it's handy, but it depends on which area you're in, because in some area they can be a bit later and I get some in June. But this is the best time to start foraging before they fully flower and start to lose their nutritional content to foster the growth of the flowering process and all that. But at the same time, they are larger than they were couple weeks ago, so it means that you get a lot more bite out of it. Yeah, let me just put it. As you know, I've got a habit of putting all the stems to one side, because when I do wash it at home, it means that I can wash it the same way they come out of the bag. And it means when I start to cut it now, it's a lot easier because all the stems are in one direction. Trust me, it's a hassle when you have to get all the stems, when the stems are in random directions and you have to arrange it, because it's just time consuming. Here's a nice big one. As you can see, as practice, I cut some off a bunch. It's strange because you might think that, well, no one is really foraging, but I don't really depend on that. I just believe that the people in this region, they are the primary beneficiary of this region's foraging, I believe. So when I'm foraging in an area that's not in my local region, I just cut sufficient, but also I just don't clean up in one area and then move on. All I do is cut a little from one area and then move on to somewhere else. So what it means is there is no sign of great disturbance, and that's encouraging because it means that the people living around here in the caravans, in the houses, etc., can all forage and enjoy their neighborhood, their community, their woodland region, you know. Probably after golf, you just pop down and forage for some. I don't think they even have to go far. They're on the golf course. They just go to the edges and forage. That's all they have to do. They don't even have to go far because there are loads of wild garlic along the edges of the golf course already. So they're fortunate enough. Let me take some here. Yeah. I'm worried though because I forgot to take a container to get the ground in, because I normally have like a wee ice cream container to put the ground elder and nettle in, but I didn't take any, so I'm stuck with this bag. So I will have to find a way to not get them mixed up, because trust me, it's annoying when you get the vegetables mixed up, because sometimes you want to do different stuff with different things. Let me go up further where the ground elder is. Me and my black bag and my headphone. So bear with me, people, as I pack up. Oh, the woodland is trying to come home with me to Edinburgh. Look at it, it's all brown. Well, who said foraging is all nice and clean? Let no one tell you that. It can be a messy business, but fun. Okay, so hold a second, let me put the camera up as we head towards the next region so you can see, you can walk along with me. I like the Head Pro because, as I said, you're walking my footsteps. It's as if you're walking without doing all the work. Shocking, isn't it? Shocking, people. You need to come and forage for yourself. But in the meantime, walk in my footsteps. Yeah? Hopefully I don't let it tumble over. Oh, whoa. Oh, that was close. Right. So this is a nice place to get my ground elder. Already I've identified nice. That's what I do, you know. I go around and look for just a nice, comfortable place to forage. Here's a nice bunch of. Oh, here's a nice one. Ah, this one is lush. Always clean off these bits first before you put it in the bag, and any extra dirt, because it means when you're cleaning it at home, it's a lot easier. You don't have to worry about all the extra particles and stuff. Just this dirt and so forth, probably. Well, naturally. Yeah. My wee bag. Okay, I should be able to get one more cut, and that should do me for the wild garlic or vominji. Okay, take some of it, and that's me. You see, nice and simple. Get rid of the excess dirt. Yeah. And then put it in me bag. Ta-da! So this is the wild garlic, also called Ramsons, in Oy'Nissh called vominji. Yeah. Okay. Now, at the same time, I'm going to get me some ground elder. But this is what I'll have to do. I'll have to be ingenious. I don't have a container, which I normally does. I just forgot to put it in my bag today. So now I have to use one of my napkins that I always carry, these napkins for if I need to wash my hands of any excess dirt or mud or stuff. I've got water in my bag too. So I always carry these nice thick big napkins to do that. But now I'll have to be using it to put my nettle in. So that's me improvising. The things you do when you go foraging, people, or anything in life, you improvise. Improvisation. Sweeping across the nation with great sensation. Okay, these nice top leaves. Good. Look at that. Oh, just imagine this. I meant was to make a potato salad with some and I haven't done it yet. Shocking. I don't know what's wrong with me. I need to make a potato salad with this nice fresh ground elder. I've never done it before, so it's on my bucket list, you see, people. Because I don't have to cook this. Unlike the soup, where I put it in near in the end, with this one, it's eaten raw. Just like the wild garlic. So, I don't know. What you think? So we've got this. Some wild garlic. Do you think, would you recommend for a nice potato salad with egg, maybe some egg in it too, some of these leaves. Maybe even if I chop it up a little bit with some chopped wild garlic. What do you think? Do you think that would be good? I should try it and see how it turns out, yeah? I've never, as I said, I've never used it for potato salad, but I mentioned it in a previous vlog that I wanted to do it and I hadn't got around to do that yet. But I think I should use sometime today or tomorrow to do just that, so I can have a recipe available for you. Yeah? So here we go. Look how larger they are as opposed to the last time, and they're nice and fresh and nature have a way of, you know, I give God thanks, you know, for all his bounty, you know, everything in its season. As King Solomon says, there's a time for everything under the sun, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to have ground elder and a time not to have ground elder when it's out of season. But according to how the globe is going now, we are eating strawberry even during December in Britain. Shocking, but there you go. So get myself some nice early leaves, because they are the tender ones you see. I don't want them too dry, too hard. So these nice shiny ones, as you can tell, hopefully you can see, yeah. And I notice they're just a lot larger, even the younger leaves, as opposed to when I went to Musselburgh the other day and I was foraging for some. Those were really nice too, but I find these ones they're just prospering. They're in this nice location wherein they get all they need to really flourish. Just look how, and they're still small plants, you know, but look how large leaves are already. These young leaves, wow, it's just amazing. There's something good about Seton Dean. Yeah. So that's my wee makeshift container napkin. So sometimes how versatile a napkin can be. Yeah. I don't think I need much more ground elder. I think that's enough. I don't normally take loads of stuff when I'm foraging. You know why? Because I go forage regularly, almost every 2 days. You see, because things are in season, these things, well, the ground elders still get larger, but I tend to eat them from now. So I call them they're in season for me because, yes, like the wild garlic, yeah? So if they're in abundance, there's no need for me to take loads home, because what it means is I can always go forage for some again till the season is finished, you know? Because the last thing you want to do is to take too much home and then you don't use it and it go off. And then it could be that could have helped someone else, you know. I know you might be saying, but there's so many wild garlic. But all I'm saying is, just imagine if everybody in the caravan area on that side and Port Seton and Preston Pans and wherever start to come and forage, yes? All this will be finished in no time. So that's what I'm saying. You know, we have to use our discretion when we're foraging. We don't look at this and say, oh, there's so much, let me take as much as I can. No, you remember that there are others. So you work with discretion, or you forage with discretion. So what I do is I take sufficient. This should last me 2 days. So I would imagine that I've got a portion of my 5 a day now, yes? So this would be a portion. Now, I don't say I'm going to eat all this at one go, but I could split it into 2. So I would imagine this might be a portion of my 5 a day. Maybe 1 portion. Yeah, 1 portion of my 5 a day. The garlic could be about 2 or 3 portions, yeah? I think, yeah. But there's also wild leek and other stuff to get. But remember, these are only forage stuff. We are not talking about British produce that are in season in supermarkets. So when you see me go foraging, it does not necessarily mean that this is the only means of me getting my 5 a day. Foraging, I only use this because you don't tend to get these in the supermarket. So when you see a vlog and do a lot of foraging vlog, is because I'm working on stuff that you don't get in supermarket. But if you watch my cooking vlogs, you start to see I'm using other products that are in season, like celeriac, parsnip, swede, beetroot. Although the other day I went to the supermarket in Lidl and I did in Tesco, and lo and behold, the beetroot are coming from Spain. And I was like, what? I thought the British have beetroot in season at this time. They should, but I don't know what's wrong. But yeah, so there are other fresh produce to be had in the supermarket, and it means now these are just 4 additional: ground elder, wild garlic, wild leek, and nettle. As you can see, I forage for these 4 mainly because I can get the others in the supermarket. So maybe one day I should do a supermarket vlog following the seasonality of the British season, and then see what's available in the supermarket, and then can give you a better idea as to what you can do when you go to the supermarket. I guess it's easy. You just check the supermarket shelf, and if you see the British flag where it said grown in Britain, means that it's in season in Britain. Chances are your broccoli now, I see a lot of broccoli coming from Spain and France. So I don't know. Chances are it's going out of season here, but it's still in season in those regions. So you have to shop around, I guess. But hold a second, let me take it off my head. Oh, sorry for the... Yes, so that's... I've got ground elder and wild garlic, but one of the key objectives was, along with foraging for these 2, can't find any wild leek, and nettle sparsely populating. I leave the nettle just now. One of the key objectives was to check the size of the ground elder and wild garlic, and as predicted, they are a lot larger and now ready for foraging. You just have to pick the more forageable ones, because some of the farmer is quite smaller than others, and the latter one, the wild garlic, the same. You just have to use your discretion when foraging, that you leave these smaller ones to get larger, so those can last up to the end of May when the others are dying off. Look how fat those ones are. I miss those ones, and I'm like, gosh, but I can't have it all, and I don't want to because of the foraging etiquette. You need to consider the people of this region. I'm not from this region, so when I come foraging here, I just take a little bit as demo. This belongs to the people of Seton Dean, Seton Sand, even the Longniddry, because I live nearby. The caravan park, they just pop over, get what they want, whatever. I think they have first dibs in all this. I'm just doing my vlog and just helping you to understand regions where people can forage, and I think this is more applicable for people living along the coast here, because they're just here. For me, I have to journey a long way to here, but it's part of the whole experience of foraging. Now, I did mention about the golf course, yes, and is there a path to there? That I'm surprised that I missed all that. So let me just go up here. I have to duck under this branch. Whoa, I'm so tall that I'm bumping into stuff. So apparently this is a farm, and along here you can see ground elder plants, loads of it, nice fresh ones. Obviously you'll have a lot of dogs coming this way. Nettle too. I wouldn't forage here, maybe a little over to that side I could get nettle, but I'm not foraging for nettle today. I don't have the container to put it in, and always try to keep nettle in like this ice cream container. Because I don't have gloves, I always use the scissors to forage, which is a shame because probably could have gotten some nettle, but I think there's a, I don't know if there's a nettle embargo on me. Nettle and I don't get along. Every time I go foraging for nettle, I get, you know, I get jagged by it, all gets scratched up. But you know, I eat it afterwards anyway. But it's this love-hate relationship. But what can you say? You can't always win with the vegetables. Some of them you have to bad them up to get them into your pot. You can't just get them into your pot because you feel like you have to really rough them up and let them know who is boss. But in that process, they might, you know, humble you a bit. You'll be scratching all day, I'm telling you. But I think gloves work when foraging. I just don't like gloves because then I don't get to use to handle the GoPro as I want and do all sort of stuff with the gloves on. So that's a trade-off, I guess. You win some, you lose some. Look, loads of nettle. So yes, there are nettle plants, loads of it. Yep. So nettle is well in season. No, it's not fully. Those ones are still small. They do get larger, trust me. Nettle plants get a lot larger than this, and thus these are early time for the nettle still. They start to come into play in May, going into June, even up to July. Late, not maybe early July. By then most of the plants will start flowering already. Yeah. So the golf course is just beyond there, and look, more wild garlic. The Bominji is everywhere. So it's a successful day, and as predicted, everything turned out to be within expected expected thought, I guess, or planned. No, I'm able to finish early, so I'll be closing this vlog. What I need to do now, which in the last video I didn't have the chance because it was already getting late and dark, but it's a lot lighter and the weather is good. I need to see if I can identify if there is any wild garlic in Long Nidri, which is close by. No, where in Long Nidri? I'm sure there are wild garlic there too. Where? I don't know. But if I'm going to ever find it, I have to follow the same pattern. Look for woodland, look for running water, river, stream, brook, dean, whatever, or both. And I'm bound to find it. So, well, it's filled with animal activities. So I'm going to head to Long Nidri now, and I'll see you then. So wish me luck. God bless.